Hey, what's going on, guys? This is I guess it's working. Um, what are we gonna talk about today? I kind of want to get into just car hauling in general. What we got to do to be a car hauler. What it's like to haul cars. That sort of stuff. Um, little, I guess it's a little weird doing this live. I hope it turns out right. If you guys can hear me, let me know. I'll give some people time to get in, see if anybody actually shows up. If not, I'm doing a live recording that be on YouTube, and y'all can watch it whenever. But yeah, just kind of wanted to see what this is all about. We're gonna try to do these little live streams. I'm gonna try to do them every Wednesday or Thursday. I talked about that in today's vlog. Um, we'll see how it goes. See what people think. If you guys like it, let me know. If not, we can scratch it and just go back to normal videos. Either way, it doesn't bother me. Just figure, try something different, see how it goes. But hey, what's up, Ben? Spoke to you this morning. Um, but yeah, we'll see how everything goes here. We're just, I guess, talking car hauling. See how this see what it turns out to be today. But yeah, so if you're new to car hauling or you're just a truck driver and looking to haul cars, yeah, let me know. Put it in the comments. Ask any questions you guys have. Um, for me, my backstory is I started car hauling right when I was 21. Started when I was on a permit, drove for a trucking company out of New York for probably about 4 months until they went bankrupt. And then went out and started my own company and learned it all from there. Self taught, made lots of mistakes, still make lots of mistakes. And yeah, we all learn together, I guess. So I guess yeah, that's what I'm going to do today. Let's talk about it. What's it going to be, or what's it going to take to be a car hauler? For me, I guess it comes down to trucking in general. Let's see if I can see this. Uh, Sorry, I'm just looking to see how this chat things work so I can see everything scrolling up right. Well, you can't see it, but it's right here for me. Um, but okay, so I can scroll through it. Yeah, sorry. This whole chat thing, live chat. What's that? There we go. This whole thing's very new to me. I have never done this before. Well, no, I've done this one time. I can't say I've never done this before. La 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 la. Sorry, just figuring it out. Um, but yeah, I guess being a car hauler is very different from trucking in general. It's not your normal trucking. You're not just bumping docks or putting something on a flatbed. It's gonna be a lot of, I guess, dealing with dealerships. You get to actually deal with a lot of people, and I'm guessing I want to be a car hauler. Will they load my truck for me? Yeah, no, they're not gonna do that. You load your own truck. But yeah, you're gonna deal with a lot of different people at dealerships and things like that. The different yards you're gonna load out of, all the dispatchers, that sort of thing. If you're a company driver, oh, I know you're kidding, Ben. Well, I've known you for a little bit now. You used to be a car hauler, but yeah, they're you just gotta just be prepared, I guess, for a lot of BS that I'm guessing you don't get as much in the normal trucking industry. You're gonna, when you're bumping docks and things like that, from what I've gathered from listening to people and talking to people just trucking in general, that's a lot of sitting around and waiting. Car hauling is none of that. You aren't sitting around or waiting for anything. It's just very go, 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 go sort of, and don't go to work for I make no comments there. um, yeah, you're not going to sit around. It's not something where it's going to be very relaxing. I would like to make the move over to United Road. Well, if you do, Chuck, if you want to make the move, my email is in the bottom of the descriptions of all my videos. Shoot me an email, and I can help you try to get over here. Let me know if you've hauled cars before or if you're just looking at getting into it. Either way, they might have a position for you. But car hauling is all about the hustle. There's no doing it slowly or moseying about because you're not going to make money doing that. You gotta hustle. You gotta walk fast and learn how to load and unload. Looking at getting into car hauling shortly. Thanks, Ben. Well, if yeah, you just I would say sorry. I get distracted easily. If you can't tell, I'm probably make this much better here in the future. But right now, I'm feeling this whole live thing out. But car hauling, you're going to have to. Okay, Chuck, how long have you hauled cars before? And what type of equipment have you used? I guess. Um, what's up, Daddy Mac? Good seeing you here. And I'm not helping. Yeah, little distracting, Ben. Um, okay, then yeah, Chuck. If you have experience, they'll definitely consider taking you on. They need experienced car haulers badly. Oh, you're good, Ben. Um, but yeah, you got to you just be prepared to hustle. There's no slacking off, and when it's raining, sitting in the truck and watching, waiting for rain to go by. Put your rain suit on, get your feet wet. I mean, it is what it is. That's car hauling in general for you. It's not your normal just sit there and wait sort of stuff. You're going to be loading everything, especially if you haul for a company like United Road, which I work for, or if you go into it as an owner operator and doing it yourself. Yeah, if you go to Manheim, PA, be ready to walk. That is a monster of an auction. It it is not unreasonable to expect a half to 3/4 mile walk to every single car. You load 9 cars, you could very easily do 9 miles. That place, if it's in the corners, good luck. I hope you got your walking shoes on. But yeah, you got to figure you're going to you're gonna have to just push through the uncomfortable moments of getting your feet wet, getting super sweaty in 100-degree days when it's raining, when it's snow, when it's ice. Um, oh, I got distracted again. Hauling cars, the different types of cars. A company like mine that I work for over here at United Road, or doing it on your own, or really any of the other companies out there, you're be prepared to haul literally hundreds of different types of cars. Every load, that's the thing. Every load can be different for you, or you could do kind of a routine and you're loading, like at United Road, you can get to where you're loading roughly the same sort of cars and going to the same areas consistently. That tends to be where you make your most money. Um, yeah, I've never hauled a 12-car load. I would like to, but yes, I do haul a lot of 10-car loads. I'll be loading 10 in the morning down here at West Point. I'm just outside the plant, loading 10, going up to West Virginia, and then loading some Carvana work, going back down to Georgia on Monday. Um, but yeah, especially if you're loading like I do out of the Kia plant that I work out of, it helps because I guess it's not as fun because you're not getting the different loads and different varieties of cars all the time, but you get one really good at loading the type of cars that they have there. Um, well, yeah, if I had my high rail, I could still do seven on the no, yeah, seven on the trailer, um, and then four on the head rack. I've done that a couple times, but yeah, loading like the Kia is where I do. We load the Tellurides, the K5s, the Sorrentos. Those, well, yes, you're right, Ben. I do have a load where I loaded 7 units on this 80 footer. That can be done. I will explain that load. If you're loading out of the Brunswick yard, you could easily do 11 units on the 80-foot quick load. Because they got the small Buick Encores, the Chevy Sparks. What else is in there? I think they have the Cruise, maybe. Yeah, and I know they got the Blazer, the Trailblazer, and things like that. Some of the bigger units, but if you get a load of Sparks or a load of Sparks or a load of Encores, you can easily load. Even if you have 10 Encores or 11 Encores, you can put that on because you're gonna put back the first Encore on, then you'll back the second Encore on, pull the third one on like normal. The fourth one, which is the one behind the cab underneath, you're going to pull that one on, but you're going to leave it away from the back of your truck. You're going to leave that literally 4 or 5 foot back from the truck. You can leave it actually more closer towards the back of the your head rack, because what you're going to do is you're going to take that middle car up top, car number 2. You have car number 1 here, car number 2. You're going to tilt it way down and drive it in by that back window, literally over the hood of the Encore underneath. And then on the trailer, you can put 3 Encores across the top very easily. I have not tried putting a fourth one on there, even though I'm pretty sure you might be able to fit it. But I know you can put 4 Encores in the belly of the trailer, well, in the bottom of the trailer. You pull the first one on right onto the bar that goes across the front of your trailer, the right behind the tongue there. Pull it as far forward as possible. Strap it on right there. The next one, back it in, and leave it this far off the back of the Encore. What would that be in spot number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? So number 9, you're gonna back in as far as you possibly can. Get it as close to number 8 as possible. Number 10, you're literally just going to pull up onto the right above the axles, strap it on right there. Number 11 is on the back because they're so short. Just back that one on right there. Get the tires just on the shotgun and then slide it in until you're normal fist length, about this far between bumpers. Strap it on. You got 11 cars on an 80-foot quick loader. It can be done. Because I know you can stack the head rack if you got a day cab. And my father, when we loaded right before everybody, I have 4 years car hauling experience. I've used 11 cars, splits, 10 cars, high rails. Okay, Sherwin, yeah. So you've done it, and with 4 years, you're learning pretty quick. It took me through my first 10 car load. I was probably year 3 or 4 before I really started doing that. And lower it down and sit it. Don't do that, Ben. You know the story about the minivan guy. I will probably tell that maybe next week. But yeah, you're gonna be able to get the 4 across the belly. I wish I had a picture because right before we got furloughed last year, because of everything that was going on, my dad, he's in a sleeper 80 footer, and he put 10 on down there in Brunswick. So I know it can be done with 11, at least 11. If you can get the 4 on the top of your trailer, then you could do 12. I have never tried. I'm not against trying. So if there's enough, if there's enough cars and the load works, I will attempt it if they'll let me, because that challenge, I like those challenges. But yeah, getting back to just getting back to the where you're loading, like with me with the Kia loads, you really, when if you're loading out of the same plant like I do for the most part, you really learn where you're stopping, where you're parking everything, what goes on which positions. So you can really cut your time down. And I've done many videos on that aspect of thinking after you get done with every load that you do. Think about what you could have done better. Um, Truckers World, what's going on? But yeah, think of. I think I just met you. Yeah, I know I just met you, Truckers World, last week down there at West Point. Are you out there towards Houston yet, or where are you rolling out to? Um, but yes, Bobby is still at the West Point terminal. He gives you rides around on gives you rides on the golf cart. But yeah, once you learn all that, and you can really think your load down, or think about your load and what you could have done different or better, that really helps, especially if you're loading out of the same place. Because I mean, if you're coming back tomorrow to grab the same load, you can put into action that Shreveport to get a CarMax. Yeah, that'll be a good load. I like Shreveport over there. That's a nice little town to go through. Very rough. Don't have your decks close. That will what is that on Interstate 20 there? You'll take a roof off a car real easy. Um, going down I-20 there in Shreveport. But yeah, you just try to plan your loads out, and like I said, loading the same type of cars all the time, you're really gonna learn learn the different tricks to make it faster. One of the things that I do, if you're not loading the same cars, if you're for a company that does a lot of auction cars, rolling like CarMax, Carvana, just standard auction dealership work where you're getting a lot of different cars. I try to, for me in my head, if this works for you guys, you do the same thing, awesome. If not, just let me know. But this is the way that I do it. Try to take your load, and I go like, is it a truck? Is it a large SUV like a Suburban or a Tahoe or Expedition, thing like that? Is it a mid-size SUV like a? You're great. I'm still learning a lot of car hauling while watching you. Oh, thanks. I appreciate it, bro. But is it a standard SUV like a Ford Explorer? What else is there? Like the Telluride, the Jeep Grand Cherokees, things like that. I would say your average Explorer, 7-seat type of Explorer, or SUV, not Explorer, SUV, or is it a small SUV like a Ford Escape? What would that be for? I'm drawing a blank. Ford Escape, Sorento, Kia Sorento, a Tucson, Hyundai, or a compact, which is like a Chevy Trax, real small. The Jeep Cherokees, or cars. And then cars for me is either full size or compact. There's no in between. I know we got sports cars and everything else, but that's just the way I do it. I kind of design my load based on that. So, and I'm going to think, okay, if I have a truck, I know on a standard, let's just say a standard cab, sleeper unit truck, like with an F-150, the best place for me that I always try to put trucks on, like a sleeper unit, if I'm rolling, that let's say you can get 14 foot or below, is going to be on spot 1 or spot 2 on the truck. Either one of those on the truck, I can still load 9 throughout the whole rest of the trailer. Pretty much doesn't matter what else is there, unless you have a lot of large vehicles, more trucks, more SUVs. That's kind of the way I try to think about it. I'm gonna figure out where my big vehicles are going first, and then I'm going to plan where I'm going to put everything else after that. So let's say I have, let's just go with a normal load. I don't know, two F-150s. Yeah, we'll go two F-150s. One, two, three, four standard SUVs, and two cars. So we'll go two cars, two trucks, and all the rest are SUVs. That's a simple load. If it's all standard SUVs, nothing huge, nothing small, but just standard, normal SUVs, you're going to go, for me, in order to still do the 9 car load, I'm just going to have it where I'm going to put an F 150 over the hood, an F 150 behind the hood, one of those cars under the F 150. If you have a real small sleeper like I did on my Western Star, you're going to be able to put like a small Cherokee or Chevy Trax or something like that. Truck 1, truck 2, car 3, and the rest on the truck. Yeah, absolutely. And you get those three, exactly like Ben just said. You get those three on, and the whole rest of the trailer just loads itself. Especially if you've hauled cars before, you don't have to really think about it because it's just a standard load once it's on the trailer. And it what sucks, and I know if you have multiple stops, and let's say your first stop is those trucks, that sucks. But you have to roll with it. Put those up there, and you might have to unload everything to get those off, just so you can keep the whole load. You can get all 9 on. But if you have like a high rail or something in that fashion, I guess, you can put the F-150 on the back, which for that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In spot 5 on the back top of the trailer. You can put one of the trucks back there, but you are still going to have to put the other truck up on the head rack in order to do a 9-car load. The nice thing with these new 80-footers, it's awesome. I don't know if anybody saw that photo that I posted with the Nissan load. That one was 3 F-150s and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Rogues and Pathfinders all together on the trailer. Went on easily, and I still afterwards, I could have put another Rogue because I'm in day cab. I could have put another Rogue under the truck that was in spot number 2. Excuse me, in spot number 2. I could have done that if I really if I would have thought about it. I'd never scaled that load because I wasn't going far with it, which I really should have. Hang on, I've done a lot of new cars, auction cars, junk cars, and I know you can never waste time on car hauling, especially when it makes reference. Yeah, you can't waste any time car hauling. It's boom, 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 boom. Plan your loads before you even get to wherever you're going. If you're going to plants, I'll get back to that in a second. I gotta try to stay on topic. I'm horrible at this. But so you want to, man, I lost my train of thought. That just disappeared. So either way, you really want to. I know what I was going at. With the new 80-footer, I could have put another Rogue behind my cab, and I would have been getting down to height easily. And I would have had 3 pickup trucks, 3 F-150s, and 6 Nissans on. That's easy. Putting 2 trucks on a high rail. High rails, yep, that's easy as well. Well, no. 2 pickup trucks on a high rail is easy. More than that is definitely. I'm here. You can start now. What's going on? Yeah, with the new 80-footers, I took that F-150, which is something I wanted to try, and it ended up working very easily. But take that F-150 in the belly of the trailer, and I pulled it all the way forward, again, right to the edge of the tongue. Now, be careful, because you are pulling really far onto the tongue. So you got to be careful on your turning radius because obviously you guys know if you've hauled cars before, trucks are wide. They're almost as wide as you can get down in the trailer. So your turning radius is a lot less than if you just have smaller cars under there because you don't want to take the front bumpers and fenders and grills out of the trucks or anything. But I pulled it up all the way to the very front, strapped it down, and that Rogue backed in, which would be spot number 7 for a quick loader like what I have. Or no, spot 8. I'm confusing myself. Spot 8 behind in front of the axles there. Back that in. That backs in right behind the F-150, just like you would on a 75-foot trailer, and you're putting 2 standard SUVs down in the belly. I mean, it gives you just enough space. You back it in, drop it down, sits fine, perfect. I mean, it's just that's an easy load on these new 80 footers. These 80 footers are almost like the cheat code for car hauling. I do love it. I was very against the quick loaders. I will say, after driving them, they are awesome. And up until recently, I wish I remembered the guy's post on Facebook, the names. I'd love to give him a shout out on here. But I was very against the quick loaders just because I said that it just stupefies car hauling. You don't have to think about it as much anymore, which is very true on that. But the speed in which you can load one of these things and get on the road, I'm telling you, if you know how to haul cars, when you get one of these 80-foot quick loaders, it is like, again, it's like the cheat code. And I don't know if I've ever really said it on YouTube, but I have been very against the new high rail 80 footers until somebody put a post. Again, like I said, I wish I remembered his name. He put a post of one of his buddies' loads, or a few of his buddies' loads, on the 80-foot high rail. And I'm telling you, if you haul trucks, I am sold on that trailer. Because that guy had 5 F-150s on and still fit, I think it was 3 what I would consider smaller SUVs and a car on a sleeper unit truck. He was hauling a 9-car load with 5 F-150s. If I had 5 F-150s, I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on, maybe get 2 cars or 2 smaller SUVs on. There is no way I'm going to be able to load 9 on my quick loader. So I give that guy a lot of credit because that was a very creative load. I'd love to see the scale ticket to find out if he made weight or not. And if he did, even more power to him, because there's no way there's no way I could have possibly, or if you could make weight with that type of a load on, I mean, there's no reason to not have that trailer if you haul trucks a lot, or even a lot of auction work. That trailer would be amazing for that. But either way, I guess I'm going to get off my high horse a little bit here, and I guess I made my point about car hauling a little bit. Do you guys have any questions for me? I'm going to try to read them down below as they scroll. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought here. This is odd. I will say, being live is a very odd thing. This is not, I guess, normal for me. Being on video in general is not normal. I'm still not comfortable with it. Like I was talking about in today's video, it's just weird, I guess. If you guys have never done it, it's just a strange thing. YouTube is very strange. I like it. I enjoy doing it. It's just different. But so yeah, if you guys have questions, write them. I don't know if I'm missing any because I'm not very good at this. Let's see. Local, I have run 10 loads out the week. Over the road, I've done 3 to 5. Yeah, you can, if you hustle, you can very easily get good amounts of loads on. you can only haul 7 F-150s on an 80-foot quick loader. If you have a photo of a 7-unit load, I've seen them in Kansas City. Jack Cooper does a lot of it out of the Ford plant. But I would like to know, can you do it making height? That's like my big question. Like for me, well, height and weight, or are you just super over axle weight on the tractor? Um, yeah, I know you can do 6. I've seen. I made great money at URS. I would recommend. Thanks, man. Yeah, I do recommend United Road. I can honestly say I love it here. They leave you alone a lot. You get a lot of freedom. If you're doing your work and you're not screwing off, they let you they let you make money. If you are willing to hustle and make money, United Road will let you make money. They will not slow you down. Um, and now, the 7 F-150s. The guys at Jack Cooper, I see them doing it out of the Ford plant all the time. And I know they're just rolling to the rail yard, which is just down the road. I know they're over height doing that because I've seen them load. I'm not going to throw them under the bus much more than what I just did right there. But yeah, they haul 7. They haul 7 F-150s. We'll leave it at that. I don't need to get myself in trouble. I don't know if I will or not, but there's no reason to I guess to burn anybody. But I know they haul 7. I would like to know what like an axle weight is, because in my mind, I think 7 F-150s. If I did the math, I did. Let's try that again. I did the math a long time ago, and I think like gross weight wise on the 80-footer, you can do 7 F-150s. But again, I want to know axle weight wise. Especially on the trailer. I don't know if you'd overload the front axle. Because I know you can load with like normal. What did I do the other day? I did 2 F-150s over a Ranger, and it was a piece of cake load. I mean, everything came down very easily. Put F-150 on 1, F-150 on 2, back to Ranger in, dropped the little shorty deck that's behind the cab, that little 48-inch deck, dropped that down right into the belly or into the bed of the Ford Ranger, and then truck number 2, the F-150 second one on the truck, just tilted that down over the head rack, and I shotgunned that way off the back end of the head rack, and again made height with ease. That load came out of was that Petersburg, right there in Richmond. That was an easy load, and I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it was F-150, F-150 Ranger, and then 3 F-250s, diesel F-250s, and made height, made weight, got those delivered without any issue. So, yeah, that's kind of a question I have. If any of you guys have ever scaled loading 7, I guess if any of the Jack Cooper guys or any other yards that have ever put 3 F-150s on the trucks, my question would be, 1, can you get truck number 2 down to height? Because I don't foresee that happening. And in my mind, you're rolling out like 14.4, 14.8. You hated what place? Petersburg. Question: does United Road offer training for car haulers? Yes, they do. I don't know how they're doing it right now with the shutdowns starting up again. When I did it, that was 2 years ago. It would be 2 years ago on Thanksgiving. I came over to United Road the week after Thanksgiving. The training that I did, if they're doing it the same way, is they flew us to Michigan. Day one is just classroom introductions stuff. I don't think we went out in the yard at all on day one. Um, day two and day two through day five was classroom in the morning, grabbed lunch, and then what advice do you give a new guy starting as a hauler on a 10 car? Okay, Jose, if that's how you say it, I'm pretty sure. Jose, if I don't answer the question, I'm going to answer this other one and I'll come back to it. Just ask me again if I get distracted because it happens a lot. But the training for a new car hauler is day 2 through day 5. The second half of the day, you're in the yard. They have a bunch of just like old beat up auction cars that are really beat up. A lot of them need to be jump started. Um, yeah. Petersburg. Well, see, I won't run much over height. I try to be very legal. Um, but sorry, distracted again. Jeez, I gotta stop that. But yeah, yeah, I did hear about Toyota cutting their production by 40%. That's gonna suck. But yes, back to the training. Um, if or you have they have a bunch of junk cars up there, beat up minivans, small pickup trucks like Ford Rangers, Toyota Tacomas, things like that, and a bunch of cars. And I'll give them credit; they got a bunch of big cars like Buick LeSabres and things like that. Freaking boats of cars. And when I was up there, I think everybody that was training that was new was loading a high rail. In my opinion, that is the hardest, best trailer to learn on. It's difficult because everything moves, all the decks slide, and there's a lot of working levers and things that you gotta go through. But I like the high rail a lot as a trailer because in my mind, for me, I say you get to cheat. And the reason I say that is if you load a quick loader too heavy on one side or the other, you have to unload or unstrap and move vehicles. Whereas on a high rail, you just lift off the pins a little bit and start sliding. If you got to move weight to the back of the truck, slide cars forward. If you got to get weight off the back of the truck, slide cars backwards. You kind of get to cheat. But the training that they offer, scroll up on the chat so it doesn't show new comments. Then scroll down a little when you're ready. Oh, okay, thanks, Mark. I again, this is very new to me. I will get better, I promise. I see that now. So yeah, I can't stay. Okay, so Jose, I'm on your comment right now. I will get to that in 1 second. But their thing is they're going to teach you how to load good enough. You're not going to be an expert at it, but good enough that they trust that you can load things without damaging them. Then after they sign off on you up in Michigan, and there was a couple guys that were there for I think 2 or 3 weeks, keep retaking the class, and they pay you for it, so it's not like you're just up there for 3 weeks for free. But they pay you for it, and they just kept the guys going until they got it down. They weren't damaging things, and then they sent you off to your yard to go get your truck. Because I had a lot of experience, I didn't have to go through it. And when I say a lot of experience, 11 years of car hauling before I came to United Road. But you go to your terminal, you get your truck, and I think if you're brand new, they still put you with a trainer until the trainer at the terminal signs off that you're ready to rock and roll on your own. Meaning, at this point, they've taught you how to do your turns and get in and out of parking lots and things to watch for. Because when you're hauling cars, other than being stupid and having things too close or not painting a deck and damaging something, your next biggest amounts of damage are going to be turning too sharp, because car haulers do not turn like a flatbed or anything does. You cannot jack these trailers around. Or going under tree limbs. Tree limbs rolling across the tops of your vehicles, that will really quickly create a lot of damage. But okay, so Jose, now I'm going to get to your comment. Let's get back up because it jumped on me. What advice do you give a new guy starting as a car hauler on a 10-car high rail? Okay, so Jose, advice for me is going to be check, double check, triple check everything you do. And if I had some paper, I'd also show you. One of the things that I also used to do when I was in the beginning is I would turn around on just a sheet of paper. You get your load, it tells you what you have. And going back to, like I was saying before, with knowing your sizes of vehicles, knowing, do you have mid-size, small size, full-size SUVs, are they large SUVs, trucks, cars, whatever. Knowing your sizes of vehicles and knowing kind of where you can put them on your trailer, when you get your load, take a sheet of paper and draw a little spot 1, spot 2, spot 3, spot 4, spot 5, spot 6, and then underneath all 9 decks. Draw your 9 decks on a piece of paper and literally write in there T for truck, T for truck, C for car, S for SUV, LS for large SUV, kind of thing. Work your whole load like that so you can plan it out before you even start. So when you're loading, you know exactly which cars you're grabbing when. That'll help you speed up your loading time a lot right there. And then what I want you to do, especially if you're new and especially if you're in a high rail, take your height stick. Your height stick is how you double check everything. Your cars, you need to height stick every load. You always should anyways, but especially when you're new, take your height stick, start at the car over the head rack, and run your height stick all the way down your trailer. But when you get to each car, I want you to check your height, make sure you're at 13.6 or below, and then I want you to look. Pin, that deck's good. Go to the next one. Height stick your car. Check your pins, check your straps. Go to your next one. Height stick your car. Check your pins, check your straps. Then look at the one underneath it. Check your straps down there. Same thing. Go through your whole trailer like that. Always down the passenger side. Always down the passenger side. Check your height. Then you go to the driver's side, and I want you to do the same thing. You don't have to check your height, but as you're packing up your height stick, you need to stop at your back 2 cars, check your pins, and check your straps. Then move to your middle 2 cars on your trailer. Check your pins, check your straps, both cars. Forward all the way up until you get back to the driver's side of the truck. Once you get to the driver's side of the truck, put your height stick away. And then for me to double check one last time, walk around the front of the truck when you're new. Make sure you leave your load bar and your keys for all your cars. At United Road, I never thought about it before, but they gave us like a fishing twine thing that you put through like the fish's gills. I put a picture of it on Instagram and on my Facebook page. But those fishing twine, get the one that has 10 spots on it. So you have 10 keys that you can put on it. So what I want you to do when you get to the very end, you come back around, grab your load bar, grab your fishing twine of keys, and again, one last time, walk all the way down the trailer and walk all the way up the trailer. You got to think, it sounds like a lot, but it's going to cost you maybe this whole process 3 to 5 minutes total. It's not a lot of time to stop you from making a huge mistake and doing a lot of damage to a car. So that's what I recommend to a new car hauler, is going to be check and double check and triple check everything you do. And then create a pattern. My pattern for a 9-car load is very, very easy. First car goes on over the head rack. I put my 4 straps on. I don't tighten them down. I put my 4 straps on, and then I come down the trailer. Drop my decks all the way down. I put the second car on. I throw my straps on that second car. That's when I grab my load bar. I start at the back tire of the second car, tighten it down. Next tire, tighten it down. 2 on the head rack on the passenger side, tighten them down. Come around the driver's side, tighten them down. Then put my strap on the front tire of car on number 2, tighten it down. Back tire on car number 2, tighten it down. Come back around, put my load bar in the same spot that I always leave it at. Done. Raise it up, pin it, lower your trailer deck, load the one behind the cab. That's the way you go. Create a pattern. It'll help you. It'll save you a ton of time, and it'll keep you from forgetting to do things while you're out there. Let's see, what other comments do we have? I'm just gonna scroll down. I'm sure I missed a couple. I'm sorry if I did. With a high rail, you can play more with decks. Quick loaders is one full deck. Yes. Yes, the high rails, you do have a lot more decks to worry about. But again, like I said, you can cheat on weight. If you screwed up a little bit, you just slide a deck. And really, if you got to get like, let's say 500 pounds off your trailer axles, literally if you take every one of your top 3 decks and move it this far forward, just 6 inches forward, you'll take 500 to 600 pounds off that trailer axle with ease. That's a very easy one. When hauling cars, I take my time, make sure everything is right. Absolutely, that's what you want to do. If it touches a 13 at 13.6, is it good? Yes, it is. I always keep under, but I do have that doubt. Though. Yeah, for me, as long as the height stick, if it just lightly taps the roof or taps a roof rack or something, if it's just barely lightly just grazing it, I'm fine at 13.6. Roll with it all day long. Nothing to worry about. If you feel it where it kind of does that hit and kind of pulls off the roof, like you feel it push up and around going over something, then obviously raise it up until it's just barely lightly touching it, and that will that's your height that you're at. So don't think just because it touched the roof at 13.6, you're at 13.6. You could be at 13.8 because the end of the load bar will bend up a little bit as it goes over. So you just want it to very, very lightly graze. Other thing I've seen a lot of people do is they go to right to that center part and they just slowly drop until they feel it tap the roof and look at your height. That'll tell you what you're at. And 13.6 is the key to where you want to be. I know some of you guys that roll out west can get away with like 14.2, 14.4. I don't roll that way too often, so I live with that 13.6 rule for me. Let's see, what other comments do we have? It doesn't take me long to load vehicles because I just visualize all my vehicles and know where to put. Yeah, I'm the same way at this point, Sherwin. By now, a lot of it for me is just looking at the load. I don't really think it through very much anymore. I'm gonna figure out how to put stuff like photos onto this I'm gonna try to for next week so I can bring up some of my load sheets that I have. And yeah, I look at it like tomorrow's load for me is 7 K5s, a Telluride, and 2 Sorrentos. Piece of cake load. For me, very easy. I'll go this side. Backed on K5, tilt them both up. Pull on K5, tilt that up. Last K5, back it in underneath. Then pull the next K5 on. Do not set the parking brake because you can throw your 2 front wheel straps and slide that car back using the top deck and get you to where you're just off the car behind it. And then I will go Sorrento because they're a little shorter in length than the K5s. Underneath, I will be K5, Sorrento, Telluride on the back. So that way the front of my trailer, like this is the bottom of my trailer. If I got K5, I'm just going to tilt it down like this. Or if I got a K5 over like a SUV, I'm just going to tilt it down like this because the SUV is taller, which gets the back of my deck number 3 on the head rack is going to be close. But with the K5 under the K5, now I can turn around and drop it way down, and my other K5 will be up much higher off the spot number 3 to spot number 5 on the trailer, if that's making any sense. If I'm confusing you guys, I'm sorry, because I confuse myself half the time. But let's see, what else do we have? Have you ran out to Cali and pulled Teslas yet? I have never, ever gone to Cali in my life. That is one of the places that I do want to go at some point. The furthest west I have ever been hauling cars is Phoenix, Arizona. I delivered BMWs to Denver, Colorado, and then they got me like it was a $9,800 load for Enterprise out of Phoenix, Arizona to St. Louis, Missouri. That's as far west as I've ever gone. One of these days I will get out to Cali because I think it would be a fun trip. But yeah, that's as far as I have ever been. Let's look. You should do videos explaining all of this while loading. I have done a couple. I broke my camera, so I still need to buy a new one. Just haven't had time this week, and I'm not going to get time to because I got my child's birthday party. Next week, I'm not going to have time to because I have a wedding to go to. One of these days, I will buy a new camera, and I will be able to put it on the tripod. And I'm thinking, I've thought this through. You guys tell me what you guys think. I've thought about literally just setting the camera up and recording for like 45 minutes. Just set the thing to record. It'll be a real long video. And then I can come into like my hotel and just overdub my, like me explaining what I'm doing. Just kind of like explaining what I'm doing as I'm loading everything, like what's happening in my mind. I'm not going to talk on the video while loading because I think the camera will be just too far away to kind of show the whole truck. But I think like I can come in afterwards and explain it. What do you guys think of that? I've been kicking around that idea of doing a video like that, but I haven't yet because it seems like anytime I do a video like over 10-12 minutes long, I get like 4 minutes of view time on YouTube out of most of my videos. So just kind of curious what you guys think of that. Thanks for the answer. Thanks, man. Be safe. Yeah, you too, Jose. And Raw GV. Yeah, I hope I'm answering all you guys' questions. Mark, was the switch to a day cab worth it? Do you have to hunt for hotels? How often do you have problems with parking? Okay, so that's a good question. Hotel wise, not very often. I will say the hardest part is like your first 6 months to a year. Finding hotels. But like with what I do with United Road, and I try to have a pattern, which does that bore you guys? Me always hauling the same kind of vehicles to the same dealerships. I mean, I can make videos. I just feel like it gets real repetitive. But finding hotels, if you're running the same areas all the time, what I do is I search and I find the hotel that has good parking and is pleasant because I've gone to a couple hotels, signed or checked in and everything, got to the room, walked back downstairs and said, look, I'm going to need a different room because it was filthy. Some of these hotels are horrendous. Got a second room, same thing, just walked downstairs and said, look, I'm going to a different hotel, cancel my booking. And just, I left, went to a different hotel. So that does happen. But what I do is like this hotel that I'm at right here, just outside of West Point, I stay at this one all the time because it's a good hotel. It's nice. It's got plenty of parking. But what I do is in my Apple Maps or your Google Maps, save the pin for that hotel and I literally just have a list of all the good hotels saved in my for me it's my Apple apps. So when I click on that, it just pops up all these pins around the country of good hotels I've stayed at, and then I can just go, oh, this one's real close to where I'm going or where I'm going to run out of time. Click on it, call them up. Hey, do you guys have any CLC rooms for this evening? If they do, awesome. I'll be there in an hour and a half. I'll be there in 2 hours. Usually for me, I try to start thinking about the hotel I'm going to stay at when I'm about 2 hours out because I know roughly that 100 to 120 mile area is what I'm shooting for to find my hotel. My big worry was having to stop a lot with like an hour or 2 hours left on my logbooks. It doesn't really happen. Personally, doing the day cab for me, I love it. I love the day cab. Let me go back up. Live stream is going great. Thanks. I appreciate that, Mark. Yes, I'd be interested in a complete loading process. Okay, yeah. So if you guys are interested in that, I will definitely do one of those as soon as I get my camera so I can record that. You're a good dude. Stay safe out there. Thanks. I appreciate that, man. Raw GV, go for it. I think is more like 40-minute lesson. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm definitely going to do that when I get my video, guys. I appreciate you guys telling me that you actually think a good long video like that would be worth it. Like I said, I've kicked it around. Trying to plan the videos can be difficult. No, not difficult. It's just weird. I guess my mind goes blank because I just think, okay, I'm loading cars, taking to the dealership, loading cars, taking to the dealership, loading at an auction, taking to a dealership. And for me, in my mind, I'm like, it gets repetitive. Okay, do you prefer loading a high rail or an easy load trailer? Okay, for me, at this point, if I hauled like out of the Toyota plant, out of like Tupelo, Mississippi, if I hauled out of there, I'll tell you right now, I would be in a high rail day cab all day long. I would be loading 11 units all the time, completely worth the the high rail. If I'm in a day cab, the 80-foot quick loader for me, I still get to haul my 10 because I got 4 decks on the head rack, and the 80-footer because it's quick and I can be fast. That aspect, I personally at this point I am a huge fan of my 80-footer. My record right now, I had my cars pulled out of the auction up in Nashville. My record right now is all 9 cars was I think 34 minutes fully loaded, 4 straps and everything. I 4 strap every car. You ever see me rolling down the road? You're never gonna see me with 2 or 3 straps on a car unless one fell off. If it did, hit me on the CB and I will pull over and fix it. I do not 2-strap or 3-strap anything. It is 4 straps. But now, if I was tomorrow morning, if United Road was to say to me, hey, you got to go in a sleeper, that would be a difficult choice for me whether or not I would want the 80-foot quick loader or if I'd want a high rail. That is a tough question because I would probably choose the high rail just because getting to load 10. I will say I do kind of miss stacking the middle of the high rail trailer. That's always fun. It's just awesome to see the whole load come down and it looks all stacked and packed onto that trailer. That for me, car hauling, that is an awesome look. Also, I grew up around those type of trailers, so high rails have a place in my heart. I really love them. Again, it would be hard for me to do a quick loader in a sleeper. If I'm going coast to coast, like if you're running Cali to Florida, Cali to New York, I would say a high rail all day long. No questions asked. I would be in a high rail if I was in a sleeper or even in a day cab, because taking loads major distances like that, I personally, the few extra minutes it takes to load, I would rather have the extra 1 to 2 cars on most loads. So yeah, if I was long distance runs, I would be back in a high rail. I hope that answers your question. Um, do you ever pull CarMax loads into Norcross, Georgia? I haul for CarMax, and I really like talking to United Road drivers because they always have the best loading advice. Norcross, CarMax, I've done 2 loads ever into that location. It's an awesome location, but I've done 2 loads ever into there. I don't know why I don't, because it's not far from my house. 4 hours, 4.5 hours. Um, I don't know where they're getting their cars from. So I just they don't have me going to the auctions that take me to the Norcross CarMax. Most of my CarMax work for me, I do a lot of CarMax out of Ohio, and for me, it's either going to Chattanooga or Memphis. Those are my 2 big yards. Probably 2 to 3 loads into one of those 2 yards a month. Um, 80-foot quick loader is the best car hauler. Raw GV. Oh, wow, thanks. I will tell you, Raw GV, that is my very first donation I've ever had. So you honestly gave me my very first donation on this channel. Helping out for the new cam. LOL. Be safe out there. Hate New York City loads. Never taken one into New York City. I have no plan on ever going. Well, no, I can't say that. I can't say that because there's a load that I want to do. I have not been offered it. I don't know if United Roads still does it, but I talked to a driver a year ago. Might have been 2 years ago. That takes they take from the PGA Tour tournament up there in Norcross, Jeepers Creepers, up there in New York City. There is they haul the big Mercedes SUVs. They haul, I think, 5 of them down to Augusta, Georgia, for the PGA Tour tournament down there, and that pays like $8,800 for like a 2 day load. I would go to Long Island for that. I would go into New York City for that load. Otherwise, yeah, you're not going to get me up there. I don't think there's enough money to deal with the headaches of that. Let's see what's next. Only I only car hauled quick loaders, high rail mostly. It's an amazing experience between the 2 different trucks. Yes, the difference between a quick loader and a high rail, they both have their specialty. I will say, I hate loading trucks on a high rail. I love loading trucks on a quick loader. Why not just put it on the bottom rail? Daniel, I think I missed a comment. Okay. What's up with car haulers loading up a single vehicle on the top rail at the? You just kicked it. Where'd it go? Oh, okay. Well, Daniel, you got rid of the message. I'm sorry, man. I learned a lot, man. I'm glad you did. Do you do many loads through Carvana? Yes. My load on Monday out of Pennsylvania, coming back down to Georgia, is for Carvana. That is a Carvana load. Personally, love doing those loads. You guys honestly have probably my favorite type of setup when it comes to delivering cars, because he just pull in, drop the cars, and they just tell you, look, there's 4 orange or yellow cones. Park between them. All your cars come off the trailer, just park between those between those cones and flag someone down in a blue vest. When you get them all done, you simply just flag the guy down in the blue vest and just go, hey, those 9 cars, those are mine. I need an autograph. And you're done. I mean, I can be in and out of a Carvana place in 40 minutes, tops, dropping 9 cars. Awesome. I love hauling Carvana loads. I mean Manhattan. Can't say that word. That place had to deliver 3 cars in my Wally Mo 8. Anyways, be safe. Okay, yes. Don't like Manhattan. Raw GV, I will say that Wally Mo 8-car high mount trailer, probably my favorite high mount trailer of all time. I think that trailer, and we used to own them. I think that trailer is light enough. It has just enough adjustments that you can almost always load 8 cars. If I remember correctly, if you have 2 cars, maybe 3 cars to put on, you'll have an 8-car load every time. I mean, that trailer, in my mind, is like the perfect setup. Wally Mo killed that trailer. Daniel. Okay. Oh, okay. So here's your comment again. Daniel. What's up with car haulers loading up one single vehicle on the top rail at the end of the trailer? Why not just... Okay, I will say, if it's like a very, very small car, I will throw it on the top back. But loading 1 car or 2 cars, or you see every now and then that driver putting like a pickup truck on the back top of the trailer. If you do it, that's your thing. I don't like the way it rides, and to me it seems like, one, you're taking a ton of weight off the drive axle of the trailer. When you load that pickup truck on the very back and you got your tongue here, it's teetering that weight, which is lifting your weight off your drive axles. And I have watched a lot of guys roll down the road, and you'll see them. They have 1 vehicle on, and they're jackknifed like this down in a ditch. And I've seen it too many times. I don't like it. Personally, for me, if you're gonna load 1 vehicle, throw it up to the front top of the trailer, drop it all the way down, throw it up right there, get that weight on your tongue, which is going to put weight on your drive axle, which is going to keep you from just losing the back end of that truck when you're going around a corner. We are at 68 minutes. Oh, I've been on here for a little while. I think I'm going to take this to probably about another 12 minutes, and then I'm going to cut out tonight because I got to get up early tomorrow morning, load up, and I'll load those 10. I'll try to do a video tomorrow. Let's pray it's not raining, and I will try to do a video of loading those 10 units. Let's see. Basically, Manhattan is New York City. In my opinion, yeah. I honestly wouldn't be able to tell you the difference between Manhattan and New York City's actual New York City. Let's see. I've been thinking about getting into car hauling for a while. Is there a lot of waiting on loads? Is there a peak season? What are the best parts of the country that keep you busy? Okay, that is a great question. Waiting for loads? No. Nope. If you work for a company that has their own, like United Road has plenty of freight, if you hustle and you're willing to work, you're not waiting for loads. I've been here 2 years. I think I've had to wait on a load one time, like an hour and a half. Because we didn't have the VINs for an enterprise load. It was a rental car unit. Might have been Hertz Enterprise. Whenever I say rental car, I mean whenever I say enterprise, I mean rental car. That's what I call them. Sorry. But yeah, you're not waiting on loads. You can stay busy if you're with a company that's got plenty of work. If you're with a mom and pop, you might be waiting on loads from time to time, but it's not like you're not like waiting for a car to like you might be waiting because there is no loads available. Um, but really, in car hauling, to me, I this will be my I'll be going on 14 years. I'm in my 13th year of car hauling, going on 14. I don't think I have really ever waited for a load. But on the same note, for me, in car hauling, it pays so well. It's not out of the realm to, if you absolutely have to, deadhead 500 miles to your next load, and you can still be very profitable doing that. You're not as profitable if one's like right next door, but you can make that deadhead and still be very profitable. Let's see what's your questions. Is there a peak season? Yes. Tax season and the end of the year. They're your two biggest peak seasons. Tax season, because especially in used cars, because tax rebate checks come out and a lot of cars get sold. So you're hauling a lot of new cars. They call it March Madness for a reason. You're busy, very, very busy. New cars, used cars, doesn't matter. You are moving a ton of cars. End of the year, extremely busy for two reasons. One, the plants need the vehicles off their property before the last day of the year for tax reasons. Two, that right around Thanksgiving to Christmas is when you start to see a majority of next year's models come out, and your manufacturers are just banging the cars out normally. And that time frame right there, I mean, they're just huge amounts of cars. If the bid's 600 cars a week, they're dropping 1,000, 2,000 cars on the ground, or they're giving your company 1,000 cars, and they're still overflowing another 2,500 cars a week, just trying to push those cars out. So yes, those two times are your peak seasons. And last one, parts of the country to keep you busy. For me, I stay very busy, and I would say like the central to southeast area. I stay very busy there. I know out west stays very busy. I don't know. I don't do much of the center of the country, so I don't know how busy you are through that like Oklahoma, Colorado, Utah, Nevada area. If you guys run that at all, please comment. But yeah, for me, that little area right there, I don't know. I don't run out there enough to know that center of the United States area. But for me, Michigan to New York, down through Texas and Florida, super busy. That area for me, but that's where I run, so I stay busy. Oh, let's look out. Let's look for more. Yeah, that's what I've been seeing. Trucks like F-150, Sierra, Silverados on the top back of the trailer. Yeah, I don't like it, in my opinion, Daniel. Don't do it. If you're gonna load a big vehicle and you only got one, move it forward as far as you can to get that weight on your on the fifth wheel and on the tractor axles. Just my opinion. And personally, if I'm loading just one F-150, a lot of times I'll just throw it around the back top of the cab. Just put it deck number 2, puts all the weight right there, and on the front tires, rides the best, in my opinion. Are you an owner operator leased to them with United? No, I was an owner operator for 11 years. I owned my own company for 11 years. I'm done with that headache. You can make good money, you can do it. I just don't like the stress. Personally, I take the same paycheck here at United Road as I used to being a company owner. I had my own authority, ran mostly my own work, and used United Road as fillers. Yeah, I would. Me personally, I like the I like being a company driver. Great benefits. United Road has amazing benefits. I got for I think it's like $416. Don't quote me because I don't know exactly, but I think it's like $416. I got 401k, dental, vision, a zero deductible health care plan. I mean, I pay nothing to go to the doctor. Yeah, my opinion, I love it here. Let's see. Next one, 10 car load. 4 on the head rack, 6 on the trailer if you have a day cab, but you can also load 3 on the head rack, 7 on the trailer if you have a sleeper. Yes, you can. If you have a sleeper unit, or even with me being a day cab, when I had my high rail, I'd still, if I'm only loading 10, putting that one in the belly of the trailer. For me, just because of the way I didn't, my first 11 years, I didn't run a day cab. So I ran a sleeper trailer, just putting putting the 7 on the trailer on a high rail. For me, that it just comes naturally. There is, yeah, it's just easy. Yeah, I can do that without even thinking about it for the most part anymore. So when I went to the high rail with the day cab, I'd still load 3 on the head rack, 7 on the trailer all the time. If I loaded 11, that's when I finally stacked the head rack. Um, Now that I've been with the quick loader having to stack the head rack, I do a lot more. Well, now I would probably do, if I had a high rail, no, I'd still just throw the thing in the belly, throw 7 on the trailer. But yeah, I've done a lot more hauling now with the stacking the head rack in my truck, so it's gotten a lot easier. But still, I do like throw that one down the belly, much easier for me. Okay, cool. I do remember watching a few of your videos a while back. You had that yellow and purple Western Star. Yes, I had that yellow Western Star. Still do. That's actually for sale. I think I'm going to start posting it again very shortly. So if any of y'all thinking about buying it, or want another Stinger, that truck, I'm probably only gonna ask 40 for it, maybe 45. It's still, if you remember any of my videos from before, it still has the damage that happened to the front fender when I got hit in a truck stop. So it does have to get fixed if you want to fix it. It's just the front little corner under the headlight bezel. I think I got a quote for that for like $3,500 to refiberglass it, respray it. So, but yeah, I think I'm gonna ask about 40. That's got literally a brand new motor in it. Well, rebuilt motor. Sorry, uh, full on would be a platinum rebuild. Has maybe like 52,000 miles on the rebuild before I decided to come over here to United Road, and I don't miss it. I don't miss that truck at all. Well, I no, I don't. I can't say that truck. I love that truck. I don't miss uh, owning my equipment anymore. That is a thing of the past in my life. I think I saw you one time at Love's. Maybe it was just west of Lakeland, Florida, but it was a while back though. I don't know if it was you. If it was in my Western Star, there's a very good chance. I did a lot of Florida. Also, if it was in my or with United Road, I've done a lot of Florida. Um, People, well, I'm over 75. Okay, so I'm almost done, guys. I'm wrapping up here. I got to get some sleep. Um, but yeah, I personally love two states. Two states that I love hauling to is Florida and Texas. I don't know why those states, because both of those states have a lot of work that goes into them and freaking nothing that comes out of them. I don't. I know if I'm running Texas, unless I have a freaking amazing Carvana load or something leaving Texas, I'm not doing a $10,000 week. And I'll tell you what, I get excited every time I get to run into Texas and every time I get to run into Florida. Um, that Skyway Bridge there in Tampa, that was when I had my own truck. I loved. I'd do my 34-hour reset right there at the bottom of the bridge, the Skyway Bridge, and I always kept two deep sea fishing poles with me, a small little tackle box of saltwater lures. And I'll tell you what, I would go there and slay some mackerel at that bridge. I love fishing that bridge. Okay, what else do we have? Okay, so was my Western Star? Yeah, it was probably me. It would have been at least 2 years ago. Where in Texas would you go to? Um, Texas, I almost always go to Dallas. Dallas, for the most part, Dallas or north to that Oklahoma line. That seems to be the majority of where I go. Fort Worth a lot. But yeah, and then I run. If I go in there, a lot of times I'm grabbing either a Carvana load out of Fort Worth, coming back out over into Georgia, or take the Volkswagens out of the yard, and I don't know the name of it. I'm sorry. The yard just south of Dallas. We have Volkswagens. They'll take me like right into like Chattanooga. Um, so I'll run those, or I can get those up to like Kansas City, and then grab Fords out of Kansas City back into Nashville and work my way home. That is so when Texas, that seems to be where I go to for the most part. Let's see what's next. I drove Volvos, Freightliners, Western Stars, and Peterbilts. Um, I will say I drove a Freightliner. You guys will probably laugh. The very first Stinger I ever drove. I will try to find some photos of it. It was a 54-inch cab over 1998 Freightliner Boydston with a four-car head rack. Yep, that was my very first Stinger that I ever owned, was a Freightliner day cab. And I'll be honest, I loved driving that truck. That little shifter that was like this long. I mean, it was just a 13 speed. Boop, 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 boop. I mean, it's just little tiny movements to shift that 13 speed. Loved that day cab. Don't ever ask me to get another one. I will drive one to a truck show. I will not drive one full time again, but I loved that day cab. Then obviously my Western Star. I had a 7-car Wally Mo behind a Volvo for a couple of years when I ran local stuff right in Tennessee. Did repo work out of East Tennessee up to Nashville to Mount Juliet, Manheim, and for when Trantech was up there. Used to load Chryslers going back to East Tennessee, back and forth every day. 7-car trailer, and I'll tell you what, made a killing with that thing. That was an awesome rig. And obviously Peterbilts, I drive them now. Never driven a Volvo Stinger though. I'm from Texas. I live in deep South Texas. Oh, so you're down like Laredo, Texas area. What's up, George? How you doing? Has the car hauling market ever recovered from this? I can't say that word on YouTube, George. I can't. It'll get me in trouble. I've done 2 videos saying that specific word, and I'm telling you, I don't know if people just didn't like them, but I got like 18 views on a pair of videos, and the only thing I did different was use that word. And no, it has not been the same since. But I'm hoping. Now, let me. I'm going to get to that. I'm going to finish with what I was going to say to George. I'm going to finish with that. Give a quick explanation of my theory of what's going to happen in the car market, and then I'm done. I gotta go to bed. Okay, so George. I'm going to finish with you in just a second. Let me grab these last couple comments. Get some sleep. Okay, yes, I'm gonna do that. Car hauling is absolutely brotherhood. The older Freightliners are cooler than the newer ones, in my opinion. Oh yeah, oh yeah. The older Freightliners are much better than the new ones. Have gotten to drive an older Pete like a 379. I have. I'm doing good. Well, 3 hours south of Laredo. I've been to Brownsville. Been to Brownsville, Texas. Almost bought a trailer off of a guy down, a stinger off of a guy down there. Literally, the back of his yard was the Mexican border. Been there once. Every URS truck I see doesn't have quick spins on any others. I do wish they did, Connor. I will say I have a buddy that drives for United Road that just got a brand new 21 Peterbilt, and they have quick spins. So, one of these days, I'm going to get one. It's mandatory at some point. I have to have it because the standard take that bar out every time. I know it's just a tedious first world problem complaint, but those quick spins are a lot faster. Okay, so George, finishing with my comment with you, the trucking industry. Let's finish with that, with the car hauling industry, and I'm done for the night. My opinion, and this is where I'm going to go with it, is if the chips and the part shortages and things like that are become a thing of the past this year, I think 22 is going to be a banger of a car hauling year. And this is my reasoning for it. Okay, so let's do it. Most car dealerships are going to sell between 100 125 cars a month. We're going to go with 100, easy math. So 100 125 cars a month for new car dealerships. Most car dealerships are at least 6 to 9 months behind, back ordered on their cars. So they are 6 to 9 months back ordered, 100 cars a month being sold on average. Obviously, some dealers do a lot more, some dealers do less, but we'll say on average. Most bids are going to be around 45 to 60 delivery points. Some can be less, some can be more, but you figure like the Kia yard, we got Ohio probably has 18 to 20 delivery spots. I think there's 9 or 12 in West Virginia. Virginia, there's like 18 to 22, I would say. Alabama, we have like 12, and you do it up. Okay, so most bids are going to be 45 to 60 dealerships we deliver to. Most bids are going to be between 600 and 1,200 cars a week. That's the way these bids are usually written for the most part. Again, this is my theory of just what I have learned over the years of doing this. So we turn around and most dealerships do 100 cars. You got 60 dealerships per location or per bid. So my theory is just to stay caught up, we have to deliver roughly 25 cars a week per dealership in order to just keep up with production. So you're talking 2 to 3 9-car loads per dealership per week. Now, most dealerships want to hold between 200 and 300 cars of inventory on their lot. So, we are going to haul just 25 cars a week just to keep up with sales numbers. Then, you're going to need to do another 25 cars a week to you're going to need to do another 25 cars a week to start catching up with the 6 to 9 month of back order we have. So you're talking let's say 9 months, 900 extra cars. So if you just did 25 extra cars, now you've done, what would that be? 4 to 6 9-car loads per dealership, every single dealership to a bid, just to start catching up. That is going to take 9 months to a year to catch up, to just get what a dealership is selling today delivered within a week or two. that's just caught up. Almost a year's worth of doubling the number of cars for our bids, for most bids, just to stay caught up or just to start catching up. Then you have to put another 200 to 300 cars on their lot. We're talking they're going to need to start producing numbers. So if we did, let's say, 50 cars per dealership times 60 dealerships, so that would be 100 to 2. So yeah, that's roughly, what's that, 3,000 cars a week that need to be produced. Yeah, that'd be about 3,000 cars a week that need to be produced just to catch up with sales numbers. And most of our bids are between 600 and 1,200 cars a week. They need to build 3,000 per week. That's 12,000 cars a month per company bid. So you saw Hanson and Adkins, Jack Cooper, United Road, Cars, more. I mean, all the companies. I know I'm skipping some, but all of the companies. So you're talking monster numbers of vehicles just to play catch up. And if they don't, we're going to be playing catch up for the next 4 or 5 years before these dealerships are going to be full of cars again. So yeah, George, my thought on things getting caught back up is definitely going to, if we can keep parts and the parts and the chips and things like that rolling, where we're not stopping production like we seem to keep doing every couple weeks at these plants, I think we are going to have a killer year for 2022. But guys, look, that's all for me. I appreciate you guys coming. I know I'm missing some videos. I'm just scrolling through one last time. Every United Road truck I see doesn't have quick spin. Yeah, my dad was a car hauler till the virus. Now he runs drive-in. I can see that drive-in's paying real well right now. Have you thought about getting into other types of trucking? Honestly, no. But I will say I got my hazmat and I got my tanker. That is always my backup plan if the car hauling market just tanks. I have no plans of leaving. I love hauling cars. I don't want to haul anything else but cars. But if things tank, I will go run probably a gasoline tanker. That's always been my back plan. Big Ben told you how great it was. I'd like to go see that. What kind of money besides American money, LOL, can a company driver make at URS on average? Average money. This is my last question. Average money, I would say, if you know what you're doing and you get a good dispatcher like I have and a good terminal manager that can really keep you busy and really looks out for their drivers, I would say very easily 1,800 to 2,200 a week when we're busy. Right now it's a little less, which I think is just nationwide for everybody. But 18 to 2,200, I would say pretty easily if you hustle, if you go run. I make that pretty consistently running Monday through Friday. But guys, thank you. I love you. This is my first one. I'm going to do another one. Try to either Thursday or Friday next week. I will try to post a thing that, I guess, a comment, post or something on Facebook. I'm not good with this stuff, guys. I'll try to let you guys know earlier in the day if I'm going to do it. But otherwise, guys, I love you. I'll catch you next time. Be safe. Again, if you want to join United Road, I will put the stuff in the description below. To contact me, shoot me an email. I'll get you guys the help you need. Love you. I'm out. Peace.